My name is Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bean Bryant, known not just for his talent but for his desire and obsession to become the absolute best. He worked harder than anyone, pushed further than the most thought possible, played through the worst pains and became one of the greatest players to ever play the game of basketball.
How in the world did he do that?
That's why he's the best player in the game.
I personally think his mindset was his greatest weapon.
Black Mamba
mentality.
Mamba mentality.
The Mamba mentality.
For months, if not years, I've done research on how he worked, thought, and lived his life in order to become the best at his craft. It changed my life, and I'll show you it could do the same for you. But here's what you might not know. His NBA journey didn't start exactly like a fairy tale.
Bryant, guard about Russell. 5 seconds left. 4. Bryant drives, pull out. Shot on the way. No good. Away. Cross court left. Open. Kobe Bryant for 3. Another air ball. He shoots back to back air ball. Kobe Bryant. Bryant for 3. It's short again. Air ball. 3 times. He shot air ball. There's a 3-pointer. Air ball again. By Kobe Bryant.
We'll see how strong-minded he is, but that hurts confidence both in Kobe and his teammates scoring the ball.
This is young Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, this is one that Kobe's got to figure out.
4 air balls in the most important game of his life at the moment. Yeah, but as we know now, it didn't end there.
Got a dribble drive, change of direction by Bryant. Wow! 2. Bryant. Second straight NBA crown. 3 straight NBA championship. Triple right there. 81-point game. Bryant for the win. Bang! Repeat. Back-to-back titles.
Bryant on the move with the jumper. Oh my! 58 points! And one of the great farewell performances in any sport. What can I say? Mamba out.
And the Oscar goes to Dear Basketball, Glenn Key and Kobe!
Breaking news, very sad news, that retired Los Angeles Lakers basketball star Kobe Bryant has been killed in a helicopter crash.
And is now dead at the age of 41.
Rest in peace.
Christine Brennan.
Also on board, his 13-year-old daughter, Gianna, and 7 others.
I've broken up Kobe's story in 2 parts to make the lessons I have learned from him easy to digest. So how did he become one of the best the game had ever seen? And even more important, how could his mindset help you and me to become the best in our crafts?
Nobody had your level of work ethic.
Those times when you get up early and you work hard, those times when you stay up late and you work hard, those times when you don't feel like working, but you do it anyway. That is actually the dream.
The greatest Laker of all time. Give it up to the one, the only, Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant was raised as the youngest of 3. His mother was Pamela Cox Bryant and his father, Joe Jellybean Bryant, was a former NBA basketball player who played for the Philadelphia 76ers. At 6 years old, Kobe and his family moved to Italy because his dad continued his basketball career overseas.
You were pretty much certain from an early age as a kid that you were going to be an NBA player. Why did you feel so strongly about that?
I started playing at the age of 2, and I never ever stopped. I just played all day, every day, so it just seemed like a natural progression to play in the NBA. And the counselors, came to me and he said, well, you have to pick something a little more realistic.
That angers you.
This is realistic to me. This is what I want to do, you know what I mean? And he was like, no, only 1 in whatever million, players make it to the NBA. Took a look around you, look at all these players here, everybody wants to be in the NBA. I said, well, I'm going to be there, And as I grew older, I was like, man, you know what, if I wasn't such a stubborn kid, that really would have crushed me.
8 years old in the game, how many points did you score?
63.
How?
I figured out that most kids that are right-handed can't go left. I'd take it from them and lay it up, take it from them, lay it up, take it from them, lay it up. And it just went on, and there was nothing they could do about it.
But growing up in Italy, what I used to hear a lot, which just absolutely drove me crazy, was all the kids would say, you know what, you're a good basketball player here, but once you go back to the States, you're not gonna be able to do none of this stuff.
They used to tell you that?
They used to tell me, they're too good over there. They're taller, they're more athletic, they're faster, they play the game much better, and you're not gonna be able to do any of that stuff. And that just absolutely drove me crazy.
0. That's how much points Kobe Bryant made at the age of 11. In the summer playing summer league basketball, he played around 20 games. He didn't even score 1 point. not a lucky shot, not even a free throw.
Well, yeah, it was very embarrassing because, my father was a Philadelphia basketball legend. My uncle was a Philadelphia basketball legend. And now here I am and I can't score anything.
How'd you not score?
Because I was terrible.
Really?
Yeah. I remember crying about it and being upset about it. And my father just gave me a hug and said, listen, whether you score 0 or score 60, I'm going to love you no matter what. From there, I was like, okay, that gives me all the confidence in the world to fail. I have the security there. But to hell with that, I'm scoring 60.
Not being afraid to fail would later play a big part in his story. This failure, though, fueled Kobe more and more. It was never happening to him again. So he found a goal and became obsessed with it. He used a really great ally, longevity, and this was one of his smartest moves.
I think that's when the idea of understanding a long-term view became important. Because I wasn't going to catch these kids in a week. I wasn't going to catch them in a year, right? So that's when I sat down and said, okay, this is going to take some thought. Because my game wasn't about being better than you at 13. It was to be better than you when, the chips are really on the line, right? When you're playing in competition situations, you're only playing to your strengths. Why? Because you want to win, right? So what I would do, I was work on the things during those games that I was weak at.
So from this time, his focus was not being better than you right now, but being better than you in 3 years. Don't always play to win now. Dare to play to your weaknesses sometimes to get better in the long run. What makes it so hard though, is the fact that you may suffer embarrassment in the moment, but you will get better faster. And while the rest is playing just to win the game, you are trying to win in the long run with a bigger career and a greater legacy.
Basketball for me was the most important thing. And anything else that was outside of that lane, I didn't have time for. So everything I saw, whether it was TV shows, whether it was books I read, people I talked to, everything was done to try to learn how to become a better basketball player. Literally, the world becomes your library to help you to become better at your craft.
By knowing what you want, the world constantly gives you what you're looking for. So from the age of 12 to almost 14, Kobe used longevity, dared to work on his weaknesses, and made the world his library by constantly focusing on one goal. So, what happened after that?
And the summer came back.
You scored.
Next summer I was a little better. I scored.
Yeah.
It wasn't much,
right,
but I scored. 12, 13. And then 14 came around. I became the best player in the state. Then I was just killing everyone. And it happened in 2 years. And I wasn't expecting it to happen in 2 years, but it did.
So from 12 to 14, you went from scoring 0 to being the best in the state of all ages.
Yep.
So, the Bryant family already moved back to Philadelphia. And this awkward, skinny-looking kid from Italy didn't understand slang and wasn't really good at communicating with his fellow students. But he had his basketball, and he had already learned very much about getting better. This kid was taking basketball very, very serious.
One thing I had in common with some of my other students and classmates was basketball. And unfortunately, because of the lack of communication with my peers, I wasn't invited to parties or family gatherings on the weekend. So on Fridays and Saturdays, I would go in my rec room with my basketball and basically dribble myself to sleep. And I think that was the best thing that could have ever happened to me, because during those lonely hours in the rec room, I discovered the hunger, the motivation, and the desire to be the best possible basketball player that I could be.
A lot of people would say, how could a young man growing up in Italy turn out to be one of the top 2 high school basketball players in the country?
Uncommon amongst uncommon people. His high school coach saying that they would get there and he would be shooting baskets in the dark. Everybody would be at breakfast and he would show up fully sweated out before anybody did anything.
Kobe led the Aces to their first state championship in 53 years.
Lower Merion has won. And Kobe Bryant showed his true mettle. There's a young man that has been so ballyhooed and has packed this arena tonight.
Kobe was attracting attention from college recruiters in the process. However, Kobe also began contemplating going directly to the pros. And this didn't go unnoticed.
Maybe it'll surprise you. What's it going to be, college or the NBA? I don't know, I haven't made up my mind yet. Right now, both of the high school seasons, Final Four time, the state playoffs. So after Saturday, I'll take my time with my family and make the decision.
No, I have decided to skip college and take my time to the NBA.
Why did you make the decision to go pro?
Well, I had a chance to play against some of the best basketball players in the world. The reason why I made the decision is to be able to compete against them every single night and to learn at a higher level than anything that I could possibly learn at the college level. You're playing against the best. Whether I'm ready or not, I don't know. But I know once I get there, I'll be able to learn from the best. And I know that I'm going to work hard, so one day I will be ready if I'm not ready when I first make the jump.
Is there a certain team that you had been dreaming to wear their jersey?
I just want to get out there and play basketball. But when I was little, I always was a Magic Johnson fan. And I love Magic Johnson. I love the LA Lakers. But right now, it doesn't matter to me.
There's a lot of publicity, talk about, a high school kid wanting to be a professional player, and your first thought is, these guys can't do this. And his agent said, why don't you work him out? We go to this workout, and I said, my goodness, I said, this is really a uniquely skilled young kid. This kid should be the #1 player taken in the draft, and I truly felt that.
With the 13th pick in the 1996 NBA draft, the Charlotte Hornets select Kobe Bryant from Lower Merion High School in Pennsylvania.
Every place that he worked out, nothing but grades. No one talking about any shortness or a weakness in his game.
Sources have told me that the Charlotte Hornets have traded Kobe Bryant to the Lakers.
Kobe Bryant possibly going from Charlotte to the Los Angeles Lakers. Intriguing stuff.
I just want to come in and fit in well with the team and benefit them any way I can. It's out there on the corridor, cheering the guys on or practicing hard or whatever. I just want to do what I can to benefit the team.
It took me 5 months to make this video, and that is because I want to give you guys the best possible value. If you find the information in this video helpful, consider subscribing and put a notification bell on because I won't upload every week, but that is to give you guys the best possible videos I can make.
The good news, however, is that one player waiting on the sidelines is expected to put a smile back on every basketball fan's face. Bryant has become the darling of the fans. And when you have support from the big kahuna right behind you, the future is sure to look bright.
But Kobe's journey as a rookie will be anything but easy. In Summer League, he was already turning heads. But despite showing flashes of his brilliance, his NBA journey didn't start until November 3, 1996, when he became the youngest player to ever debut in the league. The Lakers, though, weren't exactly built to babysit a rookie. With Shaq now in LA, alongside other big names, the team was focused on winning now. That meant limited minutes for the 18-year-old kid.
At the beginning of the journey was not playing. So coming in as a rookie and saying, man, if I knew it was going to be like this, I would have went to school.
Interesting.
Right? Because I felt like my coach, Dale Harris at the time, was trying to make sure he did not show favoritism to the young kid. And as a result, he swung completely the opposite direction and doing things that weren't really fair. That's like you sitting down, you're not playing, and you're watching everybody else kill the league when you know you should be doing that.
By January 1997, Kobe was starting to find his rhythm. His minutes were slowly rising and his confidence was rising with them. Then came an event called the Rookie Challenge. Kobe lit it up by dropping 31 points against other rookies like Allen Iverson. And if that wasn't enough, Kobe followed up by winning the slam dunk contest.
Look at him, check him out, check him out.
Despite the highlights, some nights he played solid minutes, other nights he barely touched the floor.
But this kid right here, mark my words, now, and I said this earlier in the season, it's gonna be unbelievable. I see him every day in practice. I see how this kid works. I see how he, after practice, how he's still in the gym before practice. I know he goes to Pacific Palisades and shoots in their gym after school. He is just a tremendous talent.
Then came the playoffs, where the stakes are a lot higher. And against the Utah Jazz, it was then that Kobe had his first real big-time game.
Anderson guarding Bryant. A nice array of moves by Kobe Bryant with a big-time hit.
Oh, I told you he can play. You were talking about young kid. He can get going offensively, man.
It is a 2-point game.
18-year-old rookie, no Byron Scott. Robert Horry gets thrown out of the game. This is playing with him. Nowhere to go. Tough shot. There was absolutely nowhere to go, and that shows you the ability of that young man.
Battling for position, quickly double, but what a pass inside to Bryant. And O'Neal comes up with another great feed. Alone, and O'Neal is gone.
He just fouled out. Boy, I mean, the Lakers were doing such a good job.
With 1 minute and 46 seconds left, Shaq fouled out, leaving the Lakers without their dominant big man. Then, with only 11 seconds on the clock, the game was tied, 89-89. And there was only one player who wanted to take the last shot, the 18-year-old rookie.
Lakers do not have a timeout.
11.3 to play in regulation. You see the score. Lakers with a furious comeback, and this has been a game for Los Angeles that obviously they need to win.
So Kobe Bryant, the young rookie, straight from high school. 8 seconds left. Bryant guarded by Russell. 5 seconds left. 4. Bryant drives, pull out, shot on the way. No good. Carvalho rebounds. We go to overtime.
Out. The Jazz don't necessarily feel disappointed. They're going into overtime having to play against the Lakers with Shaquille sitting on the bench.
At the biggest moment of his career yet, he failed to score the winning point. Luckily for him, it was a tie, and that meant overtime. Maybe he could still bring the victory home to the Lakers.
Cross court left, open, Kobe Bryant for 3, another air ball. He shoots back-to-back air ball. Bryant for 3, it's short again, air ball. Air ball, the young rookie, 3 times. He shot air balls, zero pressure. Jazz with him. Stockton all over him. 8 seconds, 7 seconds. Here's a three-pointer, air ball again. Kobe Bryant.
We'll see how strong-minded he is, because that hurts confidence both in Kobe and his teammates scoring the ball.
Shaq was whispering something in your ear. What did Shaq say to you in that moment?
I don't even know.
You don't remember?
No, I wasn't paying attention. He was trying to whisper encouraging things. I'm 18, I shot 5 air balls on national TV in front of millions of people that cost us the series. I'm fine, dude.
You know, I really thought that was a defining moment in his career. You know why? If somebody would have shot an air ball on our team and they had shot a second one, they were going to shoot a third one. He was fearless. I think that's one of the things that spurred him to greatness. He wasn't going to allow himself to fail. Saw a lot of negative comments that they killed our coach Del Harris for having him in there. I applaud Del Harris to this day for allowing this guy to get in there and play when no one else was playing nor competing.
How did you get mentally and emotionally so strong where it doesn't bother you?
Well, you know, you got to look at the reality of the situation. You know, like for me, it's not, you know, you kind of got to get over yourself. It's not about you, man. Like, okay, you feel embarrassed. You're not that important. You're worried about how people may perceive you, and like you're walking around and it's embarrassing because you shot 5 air balls. Get over yourself. And then after that, it's okay, well, why did those air balls happen?
And he found out that his body wasn't built yet for the amount of games they had in the season, so he needed to get stronger.
After that experience, obviously that weighs very heavily on your mind, but ultimately, Kobe Bryant works on his game. Your game is elevated to another level. What did you do to get your game to that level specifically?
All summer long, we worked on our conditioning with the track. We did Olympic lifts. We went out there on the basketball court, and we did those 3 things in one day. And we did that all summer long. We broke them up in cycles.
Right? I got to get stronger. I got to train differently. The reason why I shot air balls is because my legs aren't there. Well, next year they'll be there. That was it.
And then I watched him in a series in Utah where he shot like the air balls.
Mm-hmm.
He shot the air balls. I mean, and if anybody know Kobe, he did everything like Mike. Mm-hmm. The fadeaway, the tongue, he went ball. When that didn't work the first year, he was like, you know what, I'm finna be myself. So he grew his hair out, he started rhyming, he was rhyming in Italian.
Quest'anno scorso era un anno molto divertente. Cambio di direzione con la palla nella mano destra.
You started to get to see a little more of the personality. You know, he came out with his first shoe. And when I seen him with the hair, he was a different cat.
This is probably Michael Jordan's final All-Star game, but the first for a guy who might be Michael Jordan in progress. 19-year-old Kobe Bryant of the Lakers is a basketball phenomenon.
Here comes Bryant ahead of the field. Reverse slam. He's got the ball in his hands again. To Garnett, back to Kobe! A spectacular show by a 19-year-old young man, Kobe Bryant, is mesmerizing this entire crowd and the entire NBA.
Well, Kobe Bryant has sent a message to everyone else that he is the future.
You go down the stats on any other team, 6 man. Is anyone else really doing that? No.
Kobe was just 19 and already making waves in his second season. As a Lakers 6-man, he wasn't a starter, yet he was the 3rd scorer of his team, and he became the youngest All-Star ever. In this year already, Kobe reminded them of someone.
Bryant's meteoric rise has spawned comparisons to perhaps the greatest player ever, Michael Jordan. The man many have dubbed the next Michael Jordan.
How do you feel about being compared to Michael?
Well, it's a great compliment compared to to a guy that's going on his 6th championship. It's kind of breathtaking, but I just accept it.
Well, Mike, every time I play against Mike, I learn something new. Without him, I wouldn't be here right now. So.
Your evaluation of the young fella, Kobe?
He certainly has a lot of skills, and you see that, and he's got a lot of confidence, and believe me, he's going to continue to learn.
I think what you guys have to do right now is let Kobe be Kobe and Michael be Michael. It won't be another Michael. It won't be another Kobe.
Now, Magic Johnson said that they want to bring you along slowly, and Del Harris has tried to do that. Did that task just become a little bit more difficult after today's game?
I don't know. I hope so.
The 99-2000 Lakers, they were the beginning of a dynasty. First of all, the Lakers brought in a new guy, but not just a new guy. It was Phil Jackson, the former Chicago Bulls coach, who won 6 championships in 9 years with players like Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. And with Phil Jackson taking over as head coach, LA finally had the structure to dominate. Shaquille O'Neal was an absolute force who won the MVP with ridiculous numbers. And this also was the season where Kobe Bryant stepped up as the next great superstar. At just 21 years old, Kobe was already proving that he was amazing on both ends of the court. He was destined to be great. But Kobe also learned an important lesson this season.
Would you watch almost every game over or certain games?
All of them.
Every game you watch?
Every game.
The whole game back?
The whole game. When Phil Jackson's, his first year here with the Lakers, one of assistant coaches, his name was Tex Winter. He was responsible for teaching me the triangle offense. And I thought we were going to watch what we call touches. So watch all your touches when you have the ball, all the decisions you make, good ones and bad. No, we're watching the in-arena feed. The layup line, the timeouts.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, every little thing, every game of that season.
I do know on the road, most of the time he spends it in his room, and most of the time he asks us for the tape of the game we played the night before the opponent we're playing the next night. And he has a VCR and he sets it up. And he watches games. He has a weight instructor that comes with him in the morning, early in the morning. He's down working out the weights. And getting his body and his mind ready for the basketball game. He's very, very dedicated to this, to becoming the best player he can be.
What did that teach you that season?
It taught me to look at detail. And because I watched so much film, then it gave me the ability to see game in real time as if I was watching film.
Wow.
Because a lot of times the game starts moving really fast. But if you train yourself to watch hours and hours of film, the game's not moving that fast anymore. You can really recognize who's doing what and why.
So the regular season was smooth sailing, with the Lakers finishing with 67 wins and 15 losses, the best record in the league. The playoffs though, that's where things got real. After defeating the Suns, there was a whole nother beast waiting for them in the Western Conference Finals. The Portland Trail Blazers. They were being led by 6-time champion and longtime player of Phil Jackson, Scottie Pippen. And behind him, there was a very talented squad.
The quick double by Hall. 4 in this quarter.
In 2000, the playoffs worked like this. The top 8 teams from the West and East faced off within their conferences. Except for the first round, all rounds were best of 7. First to win 4 games moves on. The Lakers first had to get past the Trailblazers before they could reach the finals.
The matchup everybody wants to see is the one between Kobe Bryant and Scottie Pippen. Now, I talked to Kobe about that before the game, and he said, yes, these are the kind of situations that he lives for, these kind of challenges. He realized he's going to push Scottie to another level and show Scottie that he can also rise that level himself. Now, when I asked Scottie about that, Scottie said, well, someone needs to tell Kobe that those 6 championship rings I have, I did not find them on the side of the road, and I'm looking forward to getting my 7th.
Into the ring. Shot. His first shot, and off balance. Swisheroo. Interception by Pippen. And he takes it all away.
I really believe it's going to be important for Scottie to score.
The 22, but not for long. To Shaq, who just slides by Pippen.
The Lakers go up 1-0, and game 2, Portland must win.
Robert Horry advancing on the dribble. There's Pippen to knock it loose. Defense for the Blazers. It's Smith from the wing. Inside. And we are even in the Western Conference Finals, 1-1. Home court is switched and this series has been turned upside down.
The Lakers won Game 3 and 4 in Portland, but in Game 5, the Trailblazers showed the Lakers that the war was far from over. With a score 3-2 for the Lakers were still one win away from going to the finals.
Blazers are at home. Whether or not that's an advantage can be debated. Since the Lakers won the opener of this series, the road team has won every game since. Bryant brings it to the front court as we start the second quarter. He gets it right back from Robert Horry and slams it emphatically. Back into O'Neal, triple teamed, and he shoots a very high percentage on those. Bonzi Wells will try a two-pointer and hit it.
And Sabonis.
Underneath to Bonzi Wells, who got free. Steve Smith backs up for three. He caught it, took a mini step backward to get beyond the arc, and drilled a big one. But one of the more meaningful wins in Blazer history is now in the books. They led by 10 at the half. They win by 10, 103-93.
There's new players on both these teams that have played in a Game 7. Do you think you can get your team ready for that?
Well, I hope that's an edge for us, but, you know, we have to go there and play well. We know we can play well. We look forward to it.
So with the series tied 3 for the Lakers and 3 for Portland, there was a Game 7 on the way. And that's when anything is possible.
Welcome to Staples Center, the sports and entertainment center of the world for the 2000 NBA playoffs. Today, game number 7 of the Western Conference Finals between the visitors from the Pacific Division, the number 3 seed, the Portland Trail Blazers, and the home team, the number 1 seed, your Los Angeles Lakers. The other guard, number 8, 6'7" in his 4th season from Laura Marion High School, Kobe Bryant. Number 34, 7'1" in his 8th year from LSU, Shaquille O'Neal.
Jim thanks the only team in the entire league not to experience at least one 3-game losing streak this year is the LA Lakers. If it happens to them for the first time tonight, they're going home. The officials are Hugh Evans. Stoudemire into the lane. Swatted there by Bryant. Kobe, first team all defense with the block there. And Pippen pulls in the miss. He pulls up for 3. And Portland's off to a great start, leading by 7 at 16-9.
And this has been the problem for the Lakers, and Phil Jackson wants to time out right now.
And it's going to be 23-15 Portland.
There's only one guy in that zone. It's Wallace by himself.
Bonzi Wells. I don't know. Maybe Walton was right. Cross court to Greg Anthony. He finds Wallace for 3. That is the shot, evidently, that Portland wants.
Phil Jackson has to be hugely concerned here.
Lakers could be even in more trouble.
They go deep to him with a hook, and there's his first field goal. Midway through the second quarter, his first basket. Sean Kobe, a great pass, and an emphatic finish. Missed it. Sabonis has it.
The pace of the game is slow, and this is when the Lakers get control of things.
But not if Sabonis hits shots like that. Rice in transition. A whistle as he takes it to the line. Will they count the basket?
They're not sure where they want to go with the ball. Deep shot.
That works. Here is Wallace. Into the lane for the jumper.
Nice pass to Sabonis.
Pippen gets it underneath to Wallace. As Smith unleashes another 3, and he's on fire now. A 13-point Portland lead heading into the 4th.
Tell the position to shoot the ball and shoot good shots. Forget about Shaq.
And he gets his 4th foul.
I don't think you go to the half to Shaq. Portland is playing too well. Just keep the heat on. Make them have to come up with big shots every single time.
Kobe Bryant's banker gives him 18. They get it deep to Shaq.
2 and 3 guys were focused on Shaquille, and here it was Brian Shaw, myself, Derek Fisher, Robert Horry, the guys that were the supporting cast were given shots, and it was just that time to take.
Off days, getting his team to believe. That's slammed down emphatically by Kobe Bryant on the Bonzi Wells shot.
Yeah, but let's see if the Lakers can make something out of it. They got to come right back to Shaq. They don't.
They go to Shaw instead, and he's got the radar going from three-point range. It's a 10-point game. Robert Horry grabs the rebound. His three. They're within 5, just inside 7 minutes. Kobe Bryant makes it a 3-point game.
Get the double clutches.
Bryant is swatted out of there by Shaq. Shaw ties it at 75. O'Neal. The Lakers take the lead. It's Kobe again. A 20-point swing. Once down by 16, they lead by 4. Exactly a minute remains. Pippen for 3. Rebound O'Neal. Portland has 3 timeouts left. The Lakers have 2. Bryant. To Shaq.
Was this the ultimate test for you all?
Up to this point, this has been the ultimate test. They pushed us to the limit. I mean, being down 13, going into the fourth quarter, it was a huge challenge for us.
But you know who you're playing, Shaq? Reggie Miller, Indiana. How do you feel about that?
They have a fabulous team. What we don't want to let happen right now is let our focus go. All year we was talking about getting to the finals. Now that we made it to the finals, we need to develop a new focus. And we're playing against Reggie Miller, so I'm sure we'll be very, very focused.
So Shaq was talking about the Reggie Miller guy. Yeah, he could become a problem.
Not going to be that perfect here tonight.
Reggie Miller and 1. Here's Best back to Miller, open 3. Reggie Miller got it. Miller. Child's got 4 fouls. And Miller shoots a 3. Reggie Miller. We called for a Miller explosion if Indiana was to win on the road. Miller against Sprewell. Steps back and delivers another 3. 17 in the fourth quarter, 34 in the game. The Indiana Pacers on their way to the NBA Finals for the first time in their history.
We're not coming in here to lay down. We're coming in here to shock the world.
I think the city has been waiting for this moment, just like I've been waiting for this moment. You know, we have an opportunity to do something that hasn't been done for, I think, 10, 11 years.
Yeah! We're number 1. It's the beginning of a Laker dynasty, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, a very pleasant good evening to you from the beautiful Staples Center, Los Angeles, California. Tonight, the real season begins. The Los Angeles Lakers and the Indiana Pacers vying for the NBA championship of 1999-2000.
Just looking up, seeing the NBA Finals banners, and seeing NBA Finals on the floor, NBA Finals 2000 on your jerseys. It's a great feeling. It kind of feels like you're just dreaming, really.
And the 2000 NBA Finals are just about set to begin.
Looking for Shaq, who takes it in deep, and you can't stop that.
Can't leak out looking for the fast break.
Shaquille O'Neal showing early signs of just overpowering the Pacers in the paint. Kobe!
The rim is open.
Reggie Miller still hasn't hit one. He's 0 for 6. O'Neal's turnaround. Well, if he's going to hit that, you might as well wave the white flag of surrender. Bryant lays it off to
In Game 1 of the finals, Reggie Miller had one of the worst shooting performances in his career.
Reggie Miller with the catch and shoot that rattles out. Finds Miller. A two-point attempt. No good. Miller on the drive. Shaq with the block.
You know the Lakers like the surge. It's a big shot here by Reggie.
And it's an air ball. It's had 5 rebounds. Miller for 3. Way off. And a whistle on the rebound. He is now 1 for 14.
And Shaq was simply dominating.
Now this is where they want to use clock and stay organized and looking at Shaquille O'Neal has been unbelievable tonight. 7 feet 1, 330 pounds. The MVP, the look in his face.
The Lakers take game 1.
A lot of teams have come up with strategies in defending against you, and none of them have worked. How would you defend against yourself? I wouldn't. I would just go home.
We're down 1-zip. We don't want to be down 2-zip. So I think there's a sense of urgency.
They came out here to win one game. This is their game tonight. Got their backs at the wall, and they're going to play with a lot of energy. So build yourself up to what this game's going to demand.
Here is Miller. How long will he wait? Not very.
They know what this guy's capable of. He can electrify his team with his shooting. That's what they need.
Miller against Harper to the baseline with the flip that's good.
Reggie's off to a great start. That's number 2.
Here's Miller streaking to the hoop and switching to the left hand.
This is a different Pacer team than we saw in Game 1. The pride has surfaced.
6 on the shot clock. Reggie defending. Kobe finds Shaq. Powers off for the dunk. Plus the foul. Shaq, but couldn't finish it. Here comes Bryant out of the pack, shoveling it to Harper, and Harper lays it in.
The Lakers are really not a running team. They're a power team.
Kobe Bryant.
And then, at the worst possible moment.
It's like he sprained his ankle when Kobe came down. He's on the floor.
And he's writhing in pain, holding his left ankle. Meanwhile, lays it in, but the greater concern is Kobe Bryant.
Now Kobe came down as he shot that jumper.
When Kobe came down from his jump shot, Jalen Rose shoved his foot on the Kobe's with the intention of hurting him. Kobe was at least out for the rest of the game. So now, other players needed to step up in the absence of Kobe.
Fisher, a 3. Glenn Rice for 3. 21 points for Glenn Rice. Jalen Rose answers at the other end.
You cannot let Shaq lay the ball in the basket. No layups, no dunks.
He looks for Laurie, and then plus the foul. A spectacular shot.
The most.
Fox on the run, banks it in. He'll count the basket, plus the foul, and it begins to look like even without Kobe Bryant, the Lakers will take a 2-0 lead to Indiana. And to go with this team to Indiana, up 2-0 in the series.
Ron Harper, Glenn Rice, they stepped up big in the absence of Kobe Bryant.
This is where basketball lives and breathes in Indiana, and you ain't got nothing on us, baby. This is it. We're gonna do it. Go Pacer!
Go bad.
Yeah, it's gonna be a different story. They tell you some games we're gonna take it all, baby. It's 200 pounds.
And the Lakers tonight are without Kobe Bryant.
The crowd rises to its feet. The pressure clearly on the Pacers in this game. Lose here tonight, and they go down 3 games to none. Come on now. 1, 2, 3, go!
19 of them. The other night they turned it over 6 times only. That's why they were in the game.
And in the 2 games in LA, as Reggie Miller fires for the first time and hits. Perkins hands it to Miller. Miller takes the contact, hits the basket, and will come to the line.
This is the Reggie Miller that we've grown to love in the NBA.
Shaw lost it to Rose, who glances at the clock. There's still time. He takes it in and scores. Do they give him the the continuation. Miller on the wing to Rose. Jalen Rose letting him rest with a little bit of a lead. He'll come back to start the quarter. Ball poked away. Reggie wins the race to it. Pulls up for three. He loves to do that. To try and break the opponent's back, just like his coach Larry Bird would do in the middle of a run for the Celtics. Brian Shaw, his three is the game's last shot, and that's it.
Nothing, you could pretty much have written us off, but we knew they were shorthanded. And it wasn't the real Laker team because Kobe isn't out there, but we needed a gutty effort from everyone, and we got it.
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome tonight, the most important game of the final. The eyes of Indianapolis are on the ankle of Kobe Bryant. The big question for Laker fans, will Kobe Bryant play tonight?
You need to be 85% to play. I vote race. Damn. Okay. With 50%? Sorry. What I mean, it was I can change my name. Okay.
Is there any circumstance that you can envision right now that would keep you from playing?
Any snipers in the room?
I just spoke with Kobe. He said that he's feeling fine, a little bit stiff, but I did notice during the warm-ups and the layup line, he did not shoot any layups. I asked him about that. He said, well, I did that on purpose because I'm saving it for the game. He shot all jump shots, said he's going to drive to the basket once the game starts.
Bryant hits over Jackson.
See, I think as the game goes on, if Kobe can get his ankle to loosen up, it appears already he's starting to feel much better about it than he did the first couple minutes, Bob.
Kobe with a great feed to O'Neal. A little wraparound backhand flip.
Well, they talked about what do you miss when Kobe's out? That's what you miss. And there is the foul. That's going to be 4 on Kobe Bryant. What will Phil Jackson do here? Will he come out and substitute, or is he going to let Kobe Bryant play through this?
And Kobe goes up and blocks it. Bryant accelerating to the baseline and hitting the jumper.
It's an amazing gamble by Phil Jackson to leave Kobe out.
2 minutes of the second half. Indiana by 5. Kobe Bryant cuts it to 3. Looking for Bryant, but Jackson has pushed him far from the basket. Doesn't take him long to get into the lane and hangs in the air with another beauty.
Well, it's a bad sign for the Pacers. Now Kobe picks up his 4th foul and it almost excites him.
Kobe spinning into the paint. Another tough hoop.
That's the play they like to run.
The shake Shaw, and does.
There's his first field goal of the series in the 4th quarter. Will this be a jump start for his team?
Best got it to Miller, and Reggie drills the three-pointer that gives the Pacers the lead by 2. Kobe's on it. 5 seconds to shoot. Reggie with the shake move and the drive, the reverse. Miller backs up for 3.
Are you kidding me?
He has said repeatedly, if you want to be a hero, you've got to take hero shots.
Do not want to foul here and put Kobe on the line.
Kobe fires the jumper and gives LA the lead. Miller trying to come off a screen. They find Perkins for 3, and he ties the game.
What a game.
And we are going to overtime. Misses it. Shaw grabs the rebound.
That's a loose ball foul on Shaq. That'll be number 6. What a big play.
That's it.
Alone, and O'Neal is gone.
He just fouled out. Boy, I mean, the Lakers were doing such a good job.
8 seconds left. Bryant guarded by Russell. 5 seconds left. 4. Bryant drives. Pull up. Shot on the way. No good. Away. Cross court left. Open. Kobe Bryant for 3. Another air ball. He shoots back-to-back air balls. Jazz basketball. Barnetto backs it out. Straight away to Kobe Bryant. Bryant for 3. It's short again. Air ball. 3 times. He shot air balls. Here's a three-pointer. Air ball again. By Kobe Bryant.
Let's see how strong-minded he is, because that hurts confidence both in Kobe and his teammates scoring the ball.
After that experience, obviously that weighs very heavily on your mind, but ultimately, Kobe Bryant works on this game.
In 18 minutes on the floor, Kobe between two defenders. Winds up in Miller's hands, backs up for three. Can you believe that?
How did you get mentally and emotionally so strong where it doesn't bother you?
Now you know that Kobe's going to take over the game. Kobe is going to try to attack.
Shaking on Miller and hitting a two-point basket. He was just inside the line. The Laker lead is 3 again.
How about the poise of this young guy? Amazing.
Here he is over Jackson. How good is this kid? Shaw, running one-hander, followed in by Kobe Bryant. The Lakers have a 3-1 lead.
We just have to win one more game, and we're gonna come here Friday and try to end it, and hopefully we can get it done.
This is the game that I've been dreaming about. I actually dreamed about hitting the game-winning shot. I think for myself personally, it just gives me more confidence. But I think more importantly, it gives my teammates the confidence in me to perform in these type of situations, and that's something that I value tremendously.
David was set for the Los Angeles Lakers to win their first World Championship since 1988.
One win away from realizing their childhood dream to win the NBA championship. Will it happen here tonight?
Daily, we have to stay focused, and we have to play like it's the 7th game.
It's hard to stay in the moment. This kind of a situation, you get giddy. You got a lot of energy, you got a lot of thoughts, but stay really focused.
The Lakers are one victory away, but they have had trouble closing out series in this postseason.
Their thought process here should be close this out tonight.
By the shoulder injury, Reggie Miller with the Pacers' first shot. In the corner, Reggie for 3.
You throw out game 1 where he's 1 of 16. He has been brilliant.
Out of the corner, Jalen Rose for 3. By Jalen Rose. Reggie puts up a 3. Hit it plus the foul. Chance for a 4-point play. Reggie Miller for 3. Pacers by 25.
The Lakers will not be celebrating on the Pacers court.
We're going back to Cali.
This is the worst beat the Lakers have taken all year long.
Pride of the team, the passion of its fans. California, here they come.
I don't like to think of a team that has championship quality in it that loses by 33 points. And we have to prove something to ourselves when we go back home in this regard.
Kobe Bryant, one of the most confident athletes I've ever been around, and I asked him after a not-so-brilliant Game 5 about doubts. And Kobe told me that it's human nature to have doubts. It's how you respond to them that matters. Do you let the doubts linger, or are you honest with yourself and face the facts that you do have doubts, and now that you have them, what are you going to do about them? Are you going to just let them sit there, or are you going to attack them, face the problem, and challenge them?
We can match it particularly early. We must play our hearts out because I believe whoever wins tonight's game will win the series. Bob?
Thank you, Jim. The Staples Center crowd, not as raucous on a consistent basis as they are in Indianapolis, is clearly ready for Game 6. Here's Kobe Bryant forcing a shot, but it winds up like a perfect pass as Shaq slams it down. Reggie into the lane with the floater.
Nice execution. He curled off of the screen set by Shaquille O'Neal's man.
Bryant against Reggie Miller. Cans the jumper.
You know that Kobe Bryant's going to bounce back off.
Dale Davis from Mark Jackson. The fake on Shaq and the stuff.
Now this is a great start by Indiana. They're in a very good rhythm.
The jumper. Rice lost it to Davis, who puts it down emphatically. Perkins to trigger it in. Jackson turns, fires, and hits! If you're the sort who believes in omens, mark that one down. Reggie trying to shake Bryant Shaw and hits the running one-hander.
He loves those little floaters. We saw one in the first half where he got in the lane with tremendous confidence.
O'Neal was upset about that because he wanted additional practice against this shooting background. That shot is rejected. Here comes Fisher. The lob to Shaq. Gathers it in and scores. Rose over Morey.
A Lakers score here would be huge going in at halftime.
Especially if it's a three, which it is by Kobe Bryant.
5 points on turnovers there to end that half, Bob.
The Lakers end the half on a 6-0 run.
The Lakers can't be pleased when giving him 13 points.
Kobe Bryant got into the paint and finished. He has 16. Jalen Rose. That was from the outside, but they'll take it if it works. Kobe Bryant, double team, looking for help. Forces up the fadeaway. My gosh.
What a shot. Bob, Indiana has answered every challenge that Lakers have made.
O'Neal spinning. Scoring +1. 2,000. His free throws make it a 3-point difference. Kobe hands it inside to O'Neal, and he will have another chance to tie the game.
Now you've had 4 three-pointers, you've had Fox with 1, Morey with 2, and Fisher. That's 12 points in a critical game to give you a 5-point lead.
Kobe Bryant off balance. He takes it to the hole but can't finish. Frazier comes up with it. Here are the Pacers down by only 3. Jalen Rose to tie it. There it is. Harper to Shaq. Guarded by Davis. Turnaround jumper. Not back. He's got 40. The fake. The 40. He got that better. Here comes Jalen Rose. All the way to the hoop. Kobe Bryant. Throws it over Jalen Rose.
You just step up and make free throws, and the championship is yours.
The timeout advanced the ball to midcourt. Into Bryant. He's expecting them to foul him. They take a while to do it. They let 3 seconds go off the clock.
They're 1 free throw away right now from being the champions.
If he misses them both, the Pacers have a timeout left. That's not going to happen.
Remember yesterday we spoke to Kobe Bryant, and I asked him, I said, Kobe, you're a dreamer. And he said, yes, and I'm going to dream that I'm going to be holding that trophy tomorrow night. And it looks like he's going to get his wish.
In 2.5 seconds, it appears he will. The Pacers, struggling to the last, use their last timeout. But no one has ever designed a 5-point play that happens in 2.5 seconds. People rimming the court, fans and media both. Jackson looking to throw it in against Shaq. Reggie turns, pumps it up, off the rim, and the Lakers are the 2000 NBA champions.
Congratulations to the NBA 2000 champion, Los Angeles Lakers, their fans, and this city.
Shaq the man, most dominant player in the world. Championship, sorry.
The Los Angeles Lakers will make it a second straight NBA crown.
We'll get another one next year again. Back to back to back.
The Los Angeles Lakers have made it 3 straight NBA championships.
That's the triple right there.
They're going for 10.
It's kind of like when you first finished reading a best-selling novel or just watched an edge-of-your-seat movie. You're done with it, but you still want more. Kind of like the Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers of last year, that is. That team is no more. The book, it's been closed.
I don't think I can coach Kobe anymore. I can't reach him. And if you want me to continue on with this ball club, then the change has to be made. And if you want Kobe on this ball club, then I have to go.
By mutual agreement between the coach and his bosses, Phil Jackson won't be back to lead the Lakers.
flicking through the channel and I'm reading the ticker tape, Jamie, Phil Jackson has been fired. You know, this ain't something I want to be a part of.
Why do you think, Kobe, there's been such great emotion and such hurt feelings over the breakup of the Lakers?
I don't know.
Why couldn't Shaq and Kobe coexist?
Personalities. I think Shaq said, I'm the big brother, Kobe's the little brother, and without really knowing Kobe, and Kobe wasn't going to be anybody's little brother. And he just said, you know, I'm tired of being a sidekick.
You know, I hear players, you know, especially my peers, they'll say, well, he's only this good because he plays with Shaq. Or if, you know, if he leaves Shaquille O'Neal, he'll never win another title.
That bothered you?
I don't like that.
Y'all don't realize that Kobe trying to be arguably the greatest ever. Your response?
I gotta get a couple more rings.
Are you going to?
Yeah, you know what? I won't rest until we do.
See you guys in part 2.